Hi everybody, Lori here for Simon Says Stamp. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm excited to introduce you to the new Shine On release, packed full of all kinds of fun new products. I'm going to walk you through starting with some new stamp designs. First up, we have Cottage Core with the coordinating dies and Cottage Core Flowers, a little mini add-on. So the Cottage Core has 3 different cottage images. You can see them. And then there's all these cottage accessories. For sentiments, we have a cozy birthday, thinking of you, wish you were here, and always missing you. You got the picket fence, the light post, the tree. There's coordinating dies to cut out the cottages, the accessories, and the sentiments. Now the Cottage Core Flowers is kind of an add-on if you want to add some foliage and blooms. There's one sentiment just for you, coordinating dies to cut out the potted plants, the greenery, the trees, and all that, and the sentiment. Next up, we have a trio. These little trio bundles are fantastic. This one's called Beautiful Flowers. So you have the stamp, the stencil, and the coordinating die. And if you love to use a stencil to color your images, you're going to love these like trio bundles. So Beautiful Flowers is a big, large floral swag. There's also 3 individual blooms. Here's the large swag. And then now the coordinating stencil will help you to blend color to color in your blooms in your foliage. For the sentiments, there's several. Love and hugs, happy, loved, joy, beautiful. You are a treasure to me. Wishing you on your day, sending lots of from all of us. You are so birthday and kind to me. Your way so much. You are. Thanks and happy birthday. So you can really build up your sentiments for whatever occasion you need. Now, for coloring in the blooms, you have the stencil. There's also the coordinating die. There's 4 dies to cut out the large swag and 3 individual blooms. Let's take a quick look at the stencil. So there are little stencils for each individual bloom. You can line them up, easy to blend in color, which I personally love blending more than I like coloring with like markers or watercolors. But you know, whatever you enjoy is what it's all about. And then you could also line up for the large swag. There's individual stencils for the leaves and the foliage and the blooms within. There's also etched marks on the stencil to help you line it up. Okay, moving along, we have Happy B-Day. This is a cute little mini. For sentiments, we have B-Day up at the top. Happy birthday. So happy it's your happy. And then you've got this queen bee with the hexagon balloon. And then a couple little hexagons down here in the corner. You could build up a pattern, a little twirly whirly and an itty bitty bee. Coordinating dies to cut out the images and the sentiments. Next up is another little trio bundle, the Clever Fox. So you have the stamp, stencil, and coordinating die set. So these foxes, there's 4 of them, and they're numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's to coincide with the kind of layering stencils. The back of the packaging shows you some color inspiration, but each of these stencils are numbered. There's 4. So for example, this is stencil 1. I don't know if you can see the etched marks, but there's a 1 up in the top right corner, and it's labeled like inner ear and all the body parts. So easy to line up, labeled, etch marks. What more could you ask for? Easy peasy blending for your little foxes. For sentiments, there are a few. A thoughtful hello. You're so clever. Hey, Foxy. Wishing you a speedy recovery and happy birthday. So lots of occasions for the foxes. Then there's the coordinating dies to cut them out and the sentiments. Moving along to the plain awesome. Cute little critters sitting in a plane. For sentiments, we have happy birthday. You're plain awesome. Miss you. Flying by to say hi. The sky is the limit and how time flies. Got a couple hills, couple clouds. Coordinating dies to cut out the images and the sentiments, which I am ever so grateful for. I love when you can die cut a sentiment. Makes it easy to pop it up. Okay, next we have Botanical Buds, another little cutie patootie, but playing on the Botanicals. With love, warmth, and happy thoughts always. With love and sunshine. Hello, sunshine. Sending planty love. Bloom with joy. Hope this brightens your day. Congratulations, I know you will flourish. Coordinating dies to cut out the images and a few of those sentiments, not the long, straight ones, but the clustered ones. There are dies for that. Next up, we have balloon critters, some adorable critters and some large clusters of balloons, even balloons and blooms. For sentiments, we have sending smiles your way. Hello, friend. Celebrate. Celebrate big. Today's all about you. This bouquet of happiness is just for you. Up, up, and hooray. It's your birthday. Sending a little joy just for you. May your day be as bright and sweet as you are. Coordinating dies for all those images and the big balloon clusters and the sentiments. Okay, more stamps. There are several. Here we have Bring on the Sun. This is a larger one. There is a coordinating die set to go with this. I didn't have it to show you, but there are coordinating dies. You got the towel, the fun sun accessories, swimsuits, trunks, palm trees. Let's boogie. Grab your towel and meet me there. Beach or bust. Sending summer vibes. May your summer be filled with lazy days by the sea. Bring on the sun. Let's not throw in the towel just yet. Great punny beach themed stamp set with coordinating dies. Moving along to some more stamps. Here we have Oh Ship, a little mini. And I love the nautical theme. This is a great looking little ship silhouette. And then for sentiments, we have Oh Ship, I forgot your birthday. Hope it was awesome. And then a small Oh Ship that could fit in the speech bubble. You're still my favorite salty sea dog. Arr, forgive me, matey. And then a little, what do you call that, expletive when you don't want to say what you want to say. Coordinating dies for the images and the larger sentiments. Here's another little trio bundle stamp, stencil, and die. This one's called Sunburst. Okay, and it's a play on the sun. So you have this large sun image with these two circles that could be a face. Hello, sunshine. You are my sunshine. You brighten my day. I'm happiest when I'm with you, and shine on. You could mix and match what you want to go in the center. And then now for the stencil, it's kind of a layering stencil. You can do a lot of different colors with the sun rays. One detail I wanted to show you, which is kind of cute, are these little paw prints up in the top right corner and bottom left. And what you do is you line up the paw prints so you know you're going to have your stencils lined up perfectly. Because the rays are a little bit staggered, so you might not know, but you line up the paw prints and you're going to get perfect perfect blended starburst. So that's kind of cute. Then you have the coordinating dies that's going to cut out the sunburst and the sentiments. Moving along to lettered many thanks. So this one has the large MANY. My friend, thanks and love. And then all this foliage, little individuals, those can be placed into the letters or just around it for some greenery. Coordinating dies. There's also a couple of sentiment strip dies that you could stamp those little sub-sentiments on. Another little trio bundle. Well, yeah, it is a trio bundle, and there's an extra standalone die. This is the Boom little bundle. So you got the stamp, stencil, and die. You do not have to have all three. You can use all three together. You do not have to have all three to make it look good. For the stamp set, you have this large stamp, and then there's the coordinating die. So you got the big boom. Your love is a thunderbolt to my heart. Look at you taking the world by storm. Our friendship is illuminating. Lightning can strike twice. So proud of you. You are my bolt of inspiration. You electrify me, thunderstruck by your awesomeness. You are so striking, shaka-laka. And then there's two different booms. There's also a standalone big boom die, and this has the big kind of boom die, and then it's got the boom word and the shadow backer. The shadow backer really gives you that dimension. See how the shadow backer is red and the boom is yellow? You can use that with this stamp set. Also want to mention these stamps here are kind of shadows that you could stamp onto the lightning bolts. And then you have the coordinating die and you have stencils. Use them all together, use them individually. Next we have the Chill Vibes. This is just a sentiment stamp set. And what you have here is the outline and the solid. So some of these are repeated, but you get the two different versions. Okay, let's go through them. We have Chill Vibes, Bring on the Sun, Summer is in Session, and then Summer is in Session solid and outline. So all of them have the solid and the outline. Rest, Relax, Repeat, In My Summer Season, and then Summertime. Couple little sub-sentiments here. See you in September, and the living is easy. Over on the side, we have Ready for Fun, Time to Unwind, and Do Not Disturb. Coordinating dies for these. Great little summer-themed sentiment stamp set. Now here is a fun one. This one's going to make you chuckle. It's called the Old Broad Squad. And wait till you hear these. Okay, let's just dive right in. You are officially a card-carrying member of the Old Broad Squad. Aging gracefully is an art. Aging disgracefully is way more fun. At our age, we've heard it all, seen it all, done it all, just can't remember it all. You don't look a day over fabulous. Happy birthday. Let's get dolled up, go day drinking, and fall in some bushes. Forget knitting. We're going to click our life alert buttons and see how many hot firemen show up. If things get better with age, we must be getting close to freaking magnificent. Don't worry about getting older. You still do dumb stuff, just slower. OBS, Old Broad Squad, and a big marquee that you could fit some of the sentiments into. Coordinating dies for the marquee and all of those fabulous, hilarious Old Broad sentiments. Now moving on to some holidays. For those of you who like to do cards in July, getting ready for Christmas, we have Nostalgic Christmas Greetings. Merry Christmas, Season's Greetings. Christmas cheer is here. Tidings of the seasons, merriest wishes, happy holidays, merry and bright. Comfort and joy, let it snow, warmth and wonder, with peace, love, hope, and joy. I say with friendliest intent, may this be the jolliest Christmas spent. Coordinating dies. It's kind of weird saying these sentiments in June, but here we are, getting ready for the holidays already. Moving on to some standalone dies, and a lot of these I've die cut to show you the magic. We have Weathered Pilings and Silly Seagulls. So we got some sea-themed dies coming at you. So the Weathered Pilings are these kind of tree stumps with the ropes and the metal, like something you would, hook a boat to. I don't really know my marina terminology, but you could see the ropes and the metal hooks. And then you have the Silly Seagulls, 3 different shapes and heights. This one has a beanie on his head. He's so cute. And then you could put those on top of the stumps if you want to perch them up there and create a little seagull, nautical sea scene, if you will. Okay, here's some more kind of sea-themed dies. We have the Beachcomber Seashells. So these are kind of fun. They're very detailed, and there's 2 dies for each seashell, a backer and then a detail one, which I did the backers out of a darker shade, and then I topped them with lighter. So we have a lighter pink and a darker pink, lighter yellow, darker yellow. Sailboat Circle. This one's kind of unique. You've got this dainty little circle with the sailboat sticking right out the middle, and then you die cut the sail separately, pop it on. This would be great for a shaker, or you could blend behind that circle or do pattern paper. And then we have Flying Gulls. So a few different shapes of seagulls, and those would look great too. That one could be flying right over top of the sailboat. Could pop that on any type of sea scene that you might make. And then Happy Seagull, just a lone little happy pieced together seagull. I did this all with solid color cardstock. Very easy to put together. Okay, couple different fish ones. We have Whirlfish. So 3 different fish and they have that whorl texture to them. And I did them out of solid color cardstock, but you could add blending to get more, dimension. Here we have fun fish. Now this one, I did have some fun blending on these. So there are 2 dies for each fish. I did the green for the back, and then I did a green for the front, but I added a little blending, and I even did a white gel pen for a dot on the eyeball. That one was an orange fish, and I blended a little red ink. Here I did a yellow fish, blended a little orange and pink ink. Here I did a pink fish, blended a little pink and purple ink. So you could really have fun making very colorful fish. I love the embossed texture and detail on there when you run it through the die cutting machine. Here we have Flourish, beautiful butterfly. So this makes 2 different kinds of butterflies, kind of a front facing and a side facing. For that one, I just kind of clipped the wings and put on that different body that looks more like a side silhouette of a body of a butterfly. Love the flourish detail on those butterflies. And then we have quirky daisies, and they are fabulously quirky. And love the little detail on the center of the daisy. And then we have dewdrop daisy. I don't know that daisies come in this shade, but I'm here for it if they do. You could do any color. You could even die cut these out of white cardstock, add your color with ink blending. Put these 2 together, add a butterfly, and you've got the cutest little cluster going on here. All you need is sentiment. A few more dies. We have the swirled thank you. This is a larger one. It's going to take up the bulk of a card front, but it has the beautiful swirly, twirly design to it. I did it out of hot pink and put it on a cream backer. And then the falling stars. This is a cover plate, A2 size, so it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. Cuts out all those stars. And you could even use that for a stencil and blend some paste over it. Or you could inlay your stars. Or you could save all those stars that popped out and use them for a shaker filler. Next is Dancing Meadows, another cover plate, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. And it has all the blooms and foliage. I kept them all intact and blended with inks. And then I did another one out of white and popped it over top. So there's a lot of different ways you could use the Dancing Meadows. You could use those little blooms and put them on cards individually, or use it as a cover plate. Speaking of cover plates, we have the Beach Bird's Eye. I didn't die cut this one, but it is several wavy layers, and kind of like the water leading up to the shore and the beach. And this is beautiful. Look how that layers. But I think it also could be mountains. You could use it for different things. Tall, happy cover. Another one with tall, skinny. You could die cut the happy and make it a shaker, or you could inlay solid color cardstock, and it's just a nice, bold, graphic design to it, and it could be used for a lot of different occasions as well. Here we have Blooming Flower. So this is a die and stencil combination. You have the large bloom and the Adore You word die and shadow backer, and then you have the layering stencil set that you could blend all your petals and your greenery. So you could blend and die cut, and then there's a word die. Now here's a little bundle that is good for the firefighters. We have the Firefighter standalone die set. It's kind of a silhouette, and he's got the hose with the water coming out, and you've got the little flames, which I did all out of solid color cardstock. There's also a stencil that you could blend kind of a fiery background, and it's also called Firefighter. So you could do those in shades of reds, oranges, and yellows to look like a flaming background. Put your silhouette over top of it. And then for some sentiments that coordinate with this theme, you have the Brave Firefighter. For sentiments, we have thank you for your service, for being a true hero. You are my hero. For being brave, you are appreciated and hero. And then you have the flames. You have the coordinating dies for those larger sentiments and the flames. Next up, I have a couple of nesting die sets. First is the embossed squovels. So these are kind of unique because they not only give you that squoval shape, but they emboss a little bit of detail around the edge. And I've die cut one to show you the detail. You can see here how it die cuts that swivel shape, and it gives you that embossed detail. It really makes it look finished and kind of like classy. And then we have the circle frame. So this gives you those, I think there's 10 different sizes, and you get the frame of a circle. So not just a circle die, but like a frame. And these are great for shakers. Great for just making a frame to draw your eye into the focal of a card. That's called circle frames. And then we have A7 arches. So this is going to give you several different sizes of these arches. I love a good arch. And this fits the A7, which is 5 by 7, I believe. Okay, couple stencils. This first one on the right is called Leafy Greens. And you know what I love to do? Not only does it look great just to stencil color, but I love to use these and run them through my cardstock to give texture. Like use it as a dry emboss. But it's also great if you want to add a little color with blending. Here we have brick wall. And you know, you never know when you need a brick wall. It's great to put behind a building. It would also look fantastic to run this through a die cutting machine and give you that brick wall texture on your background. And then now we're moving along to some new embossing folder designs. Several of these are embossed with dies. Now this first one was included in a recent card kit. It's called Darling Duckies. It's an embossing folder and 2 little cutting dies. There's also a coordinating Darling Duckies layering stencil. So you could blend the color, you could die cut it, you can emboss it. Here's what it looks like just embossed on a cream panel. And then I die cut 2 yellow duckies, put them back into the embossing folder to give them that texture. And now I'm thinking, how cute would it be to do a whole background of rainbow duckies? I'm thinking, here we have the fish, fun fish. Okay, this is a fun fish. There are 3 cutting dies and the embossing folder. Here's what it looks like, the background. I don't know what it is about this season, but I'm so into fish like art. I like it on t-shirts. It seems to be trending, especially sardines. But I love a good, background of rainbow fish. And look at the fun texture on these. I like the different shapes of the fish too, little variation. And now this next one here, this one kind of like amazed me. It's the Presto Pop, but something about it. It embossed so clean on this hot pink cardstock. It's just clean. And it's kind of mesmerizing. And then here we have the Peony Trio, a little trio of peonies. And I don't know if you've seen, but there are so many fun techniques you can do with embossing folders. Oh man, I can't even name them because I really haven't filled around with a ton of it. But there are a lot to be had. Check out the Simon Says Stamp blog or YouTube channel on some techniques to do. Here's Curvy Blossom with embossing folders. Use the back side, rub your ink pad over top of it. What's this one called? This is called Dotty Contour, and it feels, the texture of it is very cool. Love the wavy lines, can almost be beachy, and it's just kind of a fun background. We have some new designs by Kathy Zilski. You can always count on her for great design and wit. We have Glow On Standalone Die. It's a fun, encouraging word die. It's got a nice chunky sentiment and a shadow backer. Here we have Hot Mess. I love this little mini. It's a dumpster fire. Happy birthday to my favorite hot mess. Burn bright. Here's to a better year. And party on. Little couple candles. Coordinating die set for the dumpster fire. And the sentiments. I don't know. Something about sarcasm just gets me. Now here's one I've never seen done before. The divorce update. It's punny, it's funny, but sometimes these are hard topics. Hello, freedom. Divorce isn't the end. It's the rebrand. Marriages are like pancakes. The first ones aren't always the best. It's better to have loved and lost than to be stuck with that bleep bleep forever. You've got this. Don't cry because it's over, because you never have to fold his underwear again. Oh my. Divorce looks good on you. There's a stack of pancakes and a spatula. I mean, if you ain't laughing, you're crying. You know what I mean? Coordinating dies for the images and the sentiments. Sometimes you might just need to make a card like this and you can make somebody smile. Might as well. You know what I mean? Now here's one. The A7 Rule of Thirds. This is by CZ, and I'm sure she has videos talking about what this all does. And it's kind of an acetate grid that can show you the rule of thirds. So it's broken to thirds, vertically and horizontally. Helps you with composition, balance, symmetry, where to place your sentiment, where to place your embellishments. And it's a handy dandy little tool that I'm sure Kathy Zielske is going to talk about in depth. Here we have the Artful Palette Christmas. This does have a coordinating die set to go with it. And what it is a grouping of stencils. And these can help you with layouts. It's kind of like Kathy Zielske's things. It helps you with layouts. But there are dies, and you can also use the circle dies to cut out pattern paper, or just use it to help you with an arrangement. Know where to place your images, where to place your sentiment. It's a nice little grouping, and there's a variety of layouts. And then we have this one here, which is kind of unique. You got 3 smaller circles down on the bottom left, 2 medium on the top right, and then you got 2 in the center. And then I don't know if you can see this, but there are etched numbers in the stencil which are going to coincide with the dies. So you can see there's like a 2 and a 3, a 1, 2, 3, and I'm assuming that coordinates with the Artful Palette Christmas die set. So you can see the circle dies, squares, and some trees and snowflakes. And then lastly, I have some products that were included in recent card kits. This is the Having Fun stamp set and the Prize Ribbon Sentiments. Both of these stamp sets have coordinating dies to go with them. I didn't have them to show you, but I do want to note that there are dies to cut out all of those sentiments. And then there's the Spotlight Burst Trio, and that is great for add and paste or just blending bursts in your background. Here we have Prize Ribbon. Now, a lot of these have been talked about more in depth in the card kit videos, but the Prize Ribbon sentiments fit in that circle perfectly. I did screenshot a couple images to show you what the Prize Ribbon die looks like and a card example. Here we have the marquee sign. This is 3 dies that you can build your marquee. The sentiments fit perfectly from the Having Fun stamp set, or whatever sentiments that you might want to use in the marquee. Here's some imagery. I love this kind of grungy card using the marquee. And then we have the 3D cone, just one little mini, but you can roll it up and make a cone for cotton candy, for a snow cone. Again, I have a couple cards to show you. This is just so cute. And then we have the ephemera slots. So this is just like 3 slots that you can slip in ephemera or sentiments or images, whatever you want, just kind of slip it in. And then lastly, we have the popcorn, the 3D popcorn box, and the festive bunting. And I have a couple images to show you. So this makes like a 3D popcorn box. And then this one makes some colorful bunting with the string. And here's a couple cards showing that popcorn and the bunting. And then also, I do want to mention, there's the white heat and fluff. And that adds texture, little fluffy texture when you heat it up to your popcorn. Okay, moving along to a few extras in this Shine On release. We have some fun ones. First up are these cute little blender brushes. We have the large white brush and the small white brush. I just pulled that out of the packaging, so it's a little bit bent, but I need to work it in. It's got great soft texture. And then here's the little small white blender brush. It's got the Simon's Stamp logo on it. Cute little aqua paw print on a white handled brush. Love these. Probably going to need to buy a set. And then we have some new sentiment strips. These are the Glow On Easy Strips. And you get 4 in a pack. This is the black on white. So when it says Easy Strips, you know it's going to coordinate with the Easy Strips dies, which are the dies that can cut out all of these in one shebang. I also want to mention these can be foiled. Here is the reverse. It's the white on black. And they're all kind of that glow on, keep on shining girl. And there's the Yellow Sunrises New Cubes set. So there's 6 inks. Great to buy in a set. I swatched them here, just swiped them on some cardstock so you could see the 3 different tones, light, medium, dark, in the kind of straw yellow and that corally orange. I'm not sure if you're aware that Simon Says Stamp has some pigment inks, pink, yellow, green, and blue. These are the pastel pigment inks, and now we have re-inkers to go with these. If you're familiar at all with the pigment pastel inks, they stamp beautifully, blend beautifully. It's a little bit more of a chalky, sits on top of the cardstock. We also have some new embellishments. These are the turquoise embellishments, and they are kind of a cool peacock, iridescent blue-green. And then here we have Under the Sea, a great pop of bright, cheery teal. I love all the different sizes. Got a little iridescent mixed in there. These would be great to put on your beach-themed cards. Here we have some little mini. These are rainbow stardust embellishments, and they're itty-bitty, and they have great little texture to them. Love the pastel colors. They really pair nicely with the pastel inks. And then lastly, we have Misty Mountain embellishment. Now, I don't think I've ever seen an embellishment this shade. It's kind of a milky gray. It's a Misty Mountain. Couple of iridescents in there, and I'm really kind of digging this dusty, sublime color. And that is everything from the Shine On release. Before we go, I want to share a couple projects that I've created. This first card features the Presto Pop embossing folder on the background. I used the Quirky Daisies, Dewdrop Daisies, one of the circle frames with vellum on the background, and for the sentiment, I used Blooming Flower. This one uses the Dancing Meadows, the Flourish Beautiful Butterfly, and a sentiment from Cottage Core. For more inspiration and information on this new Shine On release, check out the Simon Says Stamp blog. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.
Hi, I'm Heidi, founder of SimonSaysStamp.com. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like what you just saw, be sure to press the thumbs up and subscribe to see more great content.